Okay, the next installment of plastic gardening. As you can see here, my green beans are popping up rather nicely. Only a few of them didn't take, only a couple got eaten. And later on I'm going to put a second patch right there. But right now, between these two sets of bricks, I'm going to put some radish. So I've got my material ready, but it's rather dirty, so I need to sweep it first. And let's go down and see the corn while we're at it. As you can see, the corn is popping up nicely. Got 4 rows of it going. Everything I'm growing this year is heirloom seed, including the wheat, which is actually doing really well. I'm going to say this wheat's getting about, 3 feet tall now. That's fairly impressive. Eventually I'm going to have to put some bird netting over it though, prevent the critters from eating it. Well, it would appear that my corn is probably a good 6 inches tall. It'll be easily knee-high by the 4th of July, pending any problems. Right now, let's get to the radishes. Let's see here. First, we got to get all this dirt out of our way so we can cut some holes in the plastic. This is the same plastic that was used last year. Let's see now, it is time to start cutting some holes. I wonder if this mentions spacing at all. Oh, there we go. Plant spacing 1 to 3 inches. Row spacing 4 to 6. So I think I'll just space everything about 6 inches apart. It looks to be about what I did with the beans. And let's see here. We will go ahead and put in 4 rows. Row number 1 will be somewhere up in here. So here we go. First we just cut some square holes in the plastic. Probably should cut bigger holes than that. And not pull on the plastic so much. Okay, let's see. Next hole will be, bottom hole will be down here. Going with a slightly larger hole. And yes, this is just one of my wife's old kitchen knives. Doesn't have to be anything special. Okay, now, let's see. I can get 5 rows in here, I think. Let's go ahead and just do 5. So, here we go. Oh, I feel a stone down in there somewhere. I don't know where it went. Okay, next, let's put some marks here so we can tell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these two need to be evenly spaced. Okay. Okay, time to save some battery power. I'm going to go ahead and cut all the holes and then turn it back on. Okay, I don't know if you can see all the holes on camera, but I managed to cut 25. So the next step is to add a little bit of my fertilizer. This is just, I think, triple 10. And being the amateur gardener that I am, I don't know how much to add. But I do need to get all these spots tilled up. Good thing it's already damp soil, and it has not had anything growing in it all winter. The only downside is it is clay. So it's rather difficult. Okay, now in an attempt to not over-fertilize, we're just going to give a very slight dusting to each one of these. And then I'm going to try and work it down into there. Okay, so now do the same thing we just did. Chop up the soil, chop up the soil. Just to work that fertilizer down in there because I don't want it right up against my seeds. Okay, so that's all done. Now we need to smooth it all out. Get all this stuff off of my plastic, because wherever there is dirt, there is bound to be stuff growing, I have discovered. So we will try and get as much of the dirt off the plastic as is reasonable. Okay, sowing depth I believe is not much. Yeah, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So, let's open up our heirloom radish seed and just see if we can get them all planted quickly enough. And if you're wondering where I get my seed, I get it from Sustainable Seed Company. Okay, I think we'll put 2 seeds per plot. That should be plenty. So here we go. I need about 50 seeds. One, 2. Okay, I think we'll just go in line. Man, red clay, hard to work with. Okay, 1, 2. Now it's time to relocate some of my iron bars that I had sitting down between the green beans. This just helps to keep the plastic in place while these things are popping up. So let's see, 1 more bar. Okay, that should keep the plastic from shuffling about and blocking those from coming up. Now it's time to water. So even though the soil is very damp, damp enough that you could almost shape the clay, I think watering really helps to really get those fine particles in there right next to the seeds, essentially encasing the seeds in dirt. In this case, almost mud. So we'll just give it a good, healthy over-soaking, and then we'll leave it alone for a few days. There we go. And that's that. We'll see how they do in about 2 weeks.